Okay, this is a parts of speech tutorial video. Your purpose is for reading. Identify each part of speech and what it does in a sentence. Okay, so the first part of speech is an adjective. Remember, it describes or modifies a noun. In the sentence, the red apple was shiny, so we're talking red apple. And what was it? It was shiny. So those both describe the adjective. Another way to substitute adjective, the red shiny apple. Okay, that's not really a sentence, but you still get the idea of what you can do with it. Nouns are person, place, thing, or ideas. There are different types of nouns. There's a common noun that's never capitalized unless it begins a sentence, or a proper noun that's always capitalized. Proper nouns are things like people's names, John, or Chittenden, cities, states, countries. And then common nouns are things like ball, boy, those types. Okay? Okay, the next part of speech is a pronoun, and those are simply words that replace a noun. Words like I, me, my, we, us, he, she, it. So 2 examples, it was incredibly ugly. It is what we're talking about. And example, she smiled at us. There are 2 pronouns in a sentence because they take the place of nouns. Again, pretty straightforward. Now, a subject is not actually a part of speech, but we're going to talk about those in class. So to help you out, I gave you a couple of sentences here. The new dog barked at the intruder. In that sentence, the dog is a subject. New is your descriptor. It tells what the dog is. So what we're looking at here is the subject. The simple subject is dog. The complete subject is the new dog. It always stops after the noun. So now you try it. The brown wooden desk sat empty in the room. What's the subject? If you said the word desk, you're correct. So moving on with our parts of speech, verbs. There are different types of verbs. Verbs show action and time, and sometimes they link other words in a sentence. And there's another type of verb called a transitive verb, but we're going to probably just ignore that for now. So this sentence, John threw the ball hard. Threw is what John did. So John is my noun, my proper noun. Threw is an action because it's what was done to the ball. So that meets our definition for action verbs. Linking verbs are verbs like is, was, can be. They combine or bridge the gap. They link between other words in the sentence. Okay. And another way of telling a verb is looking at the ending. It can be tenses. So if I was going to throw the ball, that's one tense. If you threw the ball, that's another tense. And if you will throw the ball, that's an entirely different tense altogether. So you've got past, present, and future. That's pretty important. You also have is, was, and will be for linking verbs. They all show time. So it's important to keep in mind what verbs do because we will need to be able to identify them because it helps us write better sentences. All right, so now a predicate. Again, it's not a part of speech, much like the subject. It runs opposite of the subject. Subject with a predicate. Okay? Predicates are not a part of speech. They always will begin where the first verb is in the sentence. So let's use this sentence from earlier. The ball fell rapidly down the hill. We're talking about the ball. That's noun. That's also our subject. That's what we're talking about. What did the ball do? It fell. That's where our predicate starts. That's a verb. So you can see that it always is the verb. Fell rapidly down the hill. Okay, yes, I know hill is a noun, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the ball. The ball. All right, so let's move on. Adverbs. They are words or phrases that modify or change the meaning of an adjective, verb, or other adverb or a group. So the ball, like we just saw, fell rapidly down the hill. So we just said ball is a noun, fell is a verb, rapidly tells how fast it fell down the hill. Okay? And so a tip, most ly ending words are going to be adverbs. So quickly, you need to move over there. How fast do they need to move? Quickly. It's modifying the meaning of the word. Rapidly, I could take rapidly out, and the ball fell down the hill would be a fine sentence. But rapidly adds a little bit more description. So does quickly. So modifiers change the meaning, they add more description, they help paint a stronger image. Okay, so for assessment, you will see Mr. Gallagher because we have that all taken care of.